A love beyond wealth. In one of the bustling cities of Nigeria, there lived Mr. Edward Blake was one of the richest men in the city. He lived in a grand mansion with shiny marble floors, golden chandeliers, and more rooms than anyone could count. He had everything a man could want: fancy cars, a successful business, and many women who wanted to win his heart. Yet, something was missing in his life. Edward wasn't unkind, but his wealth made him distant. Most people around him wanted his money, not his heart. Over the years, he had been in relationships with several beautiful women, but none of them truly cared for him. They admired his wealth, not the man he was. This left Edward feeling empty and lonely despite his riches. One rainy evening, Edward returned home from work, feeling particularly tired. As he entered his mansion, he heard a soft, soothing hum coming from the kitchen. It was Clara, one of his maids. She was a simple young woman with bright eyes and a kind smile. Clara worked hard every day, cleaning and cooking, yet she always found time to help others, even when it wasn't her job. Edward watched her from the doorway for a moment. She didn't notice him. She was humming a tune while folding some laundry, her face calm and peaceful. It was a stark contrast to the glamorous, demanding women he usually spent time with. "Good evening, Mr. Blake," Clara said, noticing him finally. She gave him a warm smile, not the forced, polished smiles he was used to. It was genuine, and Edward felt something stir in his heart. Over the next few weeks, Edward found himself seeking Clara's company more often. He'd ask her about her day, her family, and her dreams. Clara was always honest and unpretentious. She told him about her little brother, whom she worked hard to support, and how she hoped to one day open a small bakery. For the first time in his life, Edward felt understood. Clara didn't see him as a rich man or a powerful boss. She saw him as a person. She didn't flatter him or try to impress him. She treated him like an equal, and that was something Edward had never experienced before. As days turned into weeks, Edward realized he had fallen in love with Clara, but he was nervous. What if she didn't feel the same way? What if she thought he was too different from her? One evening, as they sat on the porch watching the sunset, Edward finally spoke. "Clara, I've spent so much of my life surrounded by wealth and people who only care about what I can give them. But you've shown me kindness and honesty. I think I've fallen in love with you." Clara looked at him, surprised. Then she smiled, her cheeks turning pink. "Mr. Blake, you're not just a rich man to me. You're kind, and you've treated me with respect. I never thought someone like you could feel this way about me. But I think I've fallen in love with you too." From that day on, their lives changed. Edward didn't care about what others thought. He followed his heart, and together they found a happiness money could never buy.